afternoon. I'm Jan Roberts-Breslin, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 School of Communication Graduate Hooding Ceremony. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting to be able to celebrate you, our graduates, in person in this official way. And so it is especially wonderful to see you here today. I want to welcome the families and friends of our graduates who are here today. Your support has been incredibly important to the success of these graduates. We gratefully acknowledge that, and we thank you. Let me also take a moment to recognize our faculty. Emerson faculty are experts in their field who care deeply about the success of their students. They helped the members of the class of 2022 reach this milestone by providing exceptional learning environments, and they have done so with care and compassion. Thank you, faculty. Earning a master's degree is a major accomplishment that requires hard work and sacrifice. Our graduates know this better than anyone, but earning a master's degree during a pandemic marks a whole new level of work and commitment and sacrifice and resilience. Graduates, you did it, and you did it exceptionally well. In earning this degree, you have set a strong foundation for the rest of your life, and we can't wait to see where it takes you. Congratulations to you all. We will begin with the invocation.
Graduating class of Emerson's School of Communication. This is the day when we celebrate the achievements, the papers, the creations, the twists and the turns, the growth and the stories that you have brought forth into this world. We are here to celebrate you, to celebrate us, to celebrate the journeys that have led you right here to this moment, and it is an honor to be here with you. As we begin today's ceremony with this invocation, we are called to engage in a practice that is ancient, with deep roots across a great many spiritual traditions, and yet it often can feel unfamiliar, unexpected, and new. An invocation is, at its core, an invitation into stillness, an invitation into reverence for that which we consider sacred. And on a day that we have anticipated and waited for so long, one that is perhaps filled with flurry and busyness and exhaustion and excitement, we take this moment of invocation as a very needed pause. A pause to invite, to acknowledge, and to thank all that has given us guidance and inspiration on our journeys leading up to today. As is our tradition here at Emerson, we begin by first acknowledging the land upon which we stand and upon which we have lived and learned during our Emerson journeys. We are on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Massachusetts people, whose name was appropriated by this Commonwealth. We pay respect to the Massachusetts elders past and present and acknowledge the truth of violence perpetrated in the name of our country, and we make a commitment to uncovering that truth. So too, in this moment of invocation, we also acknowledge and celebrate the diversity of paths and traditions present in this gathered community, And we celebrate that we find the sacred in so many different ways. For some, this is in the mystery called God. For others, we find the sacred within the wisdom of ancestors, or in the beauty of nature, in sparks of creativity, or in the pursuit of justice. However it is that you find sacredness in your life, I invite you to pause with me now. And in our shared silence, to invite into your mind and into your heart all that you consider sacred. Let us be in silence. Thank you. Congratulations, and welcome to each and every one of you to your long-awaited and so well-deserved graduate hooding ceremony.
I will now invite Kim McLaren, Interim Dean of Graduate and Professional Studies, to deliver the graduate ceremony address. Kim McLaren is a novelist, essayist, and journalist whose work explores systemic issues in experiential terms, anchoring questions of identity, humanity, and meaning in narratives of family, friends, and self. She is the author of 3 critically acclaimed novels, 2 essay collections, and the biblio-memoir James Baldwin's Another Country, bookmarked. Her work has appeared in the New England Review, the Sewanee Review, the Sun Magazine, the Washington Post, and many other publications. She is a former staff writer for the Associated Press and the New York Times, and appears regularly on Basic Black on WGBH. Please welcome Dean McLaren.
Thank you, Jan. Good afternoon. Okay, wait, sorry. I'm from the South, so I'm gonna need y'all to work with me here, okay? Good afternoon. That's better. Thank you. Thank you very much. My mother would be very proud of all of you. It is a joy and a deep honor to be here this afternoon to mark this occasion and to be tasked with giving these brief remarks. Now, I want to stress brief because I know you all have dinners to get to. So it was about like 9 minutes when I timed it last night, so start your watches right now. When I sat down to write this speech, I began by thinking back over all the graduation, commencement, and hooding addresses I've heard in my life. Between myself, my 4 siblings, my 2 children, and nearly 20 years of teaching here at Emerson College, I calculated that I've heard almost 50 such addresses. Remarks by famous and accomplished people, folks whose names and faces you would absolutely recognize. Does anybody remember Lee Iacocca? Oh, okay. Actors, politicians, businessmen. I was just wondering, because that was the first one. That was my graduation. I thought back over all of these speeches, all of that inspiration, all of that advice, and what I realized was this. I didn't remember any of it. Not a word. So that took the pressure off. Still, I wanted to find something inspirational or meaningful to say to you here today. The writer Graham Greene said that all writers' brains are like compost bins. You put in bits of eggshells and coffee grounds and banana peels, and with a little heat and a little time, something comes out that is organic and useful, something which can helpfully help living things to grow. I realized that the reason I was struggling to think of something to write was that my compost bin was empty. It had been depleted by this past couple of years. These have been, let's face it, terrible years. An epidemic which took the lives of millions of our fellow citizens, political rancor, violent conflicts, not just in Ukraine, but in Yemen and Ethiopia and Mexico and on and on. what some people call a racial reckoning, but what I fear is really just another turn of the wheel in the cycle of progress and backlash that is the American story. People are trapped in history, wrote James Baldwin, my hero, and history is trapped in them. In short, these have been hard times. Nor can I stand here in good conscience and tell you that the hard times are over. But what I can tell you is what my other hero, Toni Morrison, said. This is precisely the times when artists go to work. Not when everything is fine, but when everything is terrible. That's our job. Morrison specified artists because that's what she was. But if you read the rest of the essay, and you should always read the rest of the essay, she expands her definition to include all who care about critical thinking and the imagination, about the connection between what we say and how we think, and who we are. Hard times are when journalists and comms experts and speech and language pathologists and scholars and teachers and educators of every kind go to work. That was the original meaning of a master's degree, you know, a declaration that a person who was admitted to the rank of master or teacher at one university should also be admitted to the same rank at other universities. Now that you are a master, you have the right to call yourself an expert in your field. But you also have an obligation to do something with that expertise, something that extends beyond yourself. We're very big on rights in this country, and that's all well and good. But the flip side of a right is what the people in my family who have served in the military call a duty. A society built on rights without duty is like a skyscraper without a foundation. It may look very pretty, but it's not going to stand for long. Now is the time for all of us who understand the power of language, written, spoken, performed, signed, to roll up our sleeves and dig in. Morrison said, "There is no time for despair, no place for self-pity, no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. That is how civilizations heal." And we need healing. And I'm sorry, but your generation is going to have to be the ones to do it. We tried. I know it doesn't look like it, but we did. Sometimes it was 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, but we did our best, and we did accomplish some things. We ended apartheid. We got gay marriage, although right now, I don't know. If you're keeping up with the news, you know what I'm talking about. The bald eagle and seatbelts. Oh, we saved the bald eagle, by the way. Did you know the bald eagle was threatened? Yes. When I was a child, the bald eagle was threatened, but we saved the bald eagle. And seatbelts. When I was a kid, nobody wore seatbelts. My mother would pile the 5 of us into the front bench seat of her car and take off down the road without a second thought. If she had to stop short, she would stick her arm out to keep us from flying through the window shield. I remember when seatbelt use became mandatory, became law. People pitched a fit. My Uncle Jesse said seatbelt use ruined the crease of his pants, and nobody and nothing was going to make him buckle up in the privacy of his automobile. Then an accident left my other uncle paralyzed, and everybody in the family came around. Today, seatbelt use hovers around 90% in the front use. Most people buckle up without even thinking about it. Seatbelts save 15,000 lives a year. Things can change. But although change is inevitable, progress is not. Maybe you've heard this phrase, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. This is Dr. Martin Luther King's eloquent restatement of a line from 19th century minister and abolitionist Theodore Parker. Reverend Parker's sermon is actually a little more ambiguous than King's restatement, which itself, in full context of his speech, is actually more ambiguous than the line we often hear. Remember, always read the whole essay. Parker said, "I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one, My eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. And from what I see, I am sure it bends towards justice. Well, far be it from me to stand here and contradict either the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King or Reverend Parker. But from what I see, from what I have seen, the arc of the moral universe bends whichever way it gets pulled. The forces bending it towards inequity and injustice, towards war and violence, towards climate disaster and authoritarianism, these are powerful forces, endlessly strong. The only way to counter them is with collective effort. The only way to bend the arc back the way it must be bent is for each and every one of us here today to grab hold and pull hard. The good news is this. You have spent, thank you can clap for that. The good news is this. You have spent these past few years at Emerson building up your muscles. Your professors gave you maybe some 8-pound free weights, or maybe some 20-pound ones if you took a class from Ruth Grossman or Linda Gallant, I don't know. The experiences you shared with your classmates and with faculty were resistance bands. Living through a pandemic, seeing both the worst and the best of humankind, this has been one big kettlebell. You have been working out hard these past few years, and now you leave Emerson pumped up and ready to grab hold of that arc and bend it the way it must be bent if we are to thrive, not only as a society, not only as a nation, but as human beings in the full sense of that word. Baldwin said, "There is never time in the future in which we will work out our salvation. The challenge is in the moment. The time is always now." So let's get to work. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce this year's graduate student speaker, Drew Genova, who is receiving their Master of Arts in Media Design. Born in Bridgeport, let's give him Born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, Drew has been an academic and artistic performer for over 10 years. Their work as a trans person focuses on the oppression, beauty, and representation of trans people throughout history. Drew uses their work to inspire those forced into invisibility or who doubt their capacity to be change makers. Paul Mialitas, graduate program director for media design, said, "Simply put, Drew is amazing. They exemplify the values of strong and inclusive community, deep care for their peers, and engagement in all facets of the media design program. They have been an engaged and supportive classmate, going above and beyond to be present for their peers." Drew's own work at the intersection of art, performance, and design has provided inspiration to all our faculty, staff, and students. Welcome, Drew.
Thank you, Kim, and hello, fellow graduates. When I was 15, I was separated from my home and my family. We were living in an inner city in Connecticut at the time. My parents had fallen victim to the recession in 2008, and due to some poor financial decisions, my mother, sister, and myself were forced to move out and away from each other. I spent my formative high school years sleeping on friends' couches, basements, garages, air mattresses, the floor, and even outside. I spent that time surviving and learning how to get by. During those years, I attended a poor inner-city high school in Connecticut where gang violence was common and the textbooks were rotted through. While the public education system was failing us, I was able to attend a dance and performance school through my high school. That is where I fell in love with art. I was given the chance to develop my performing arts skills, and this led me to a world of escapism. It was the first time I had ever been given the choice to develop my own future. My friend who was a grade above me was accepted to Emerson College her senior year, and I had the opportunity to visit her that fall. I had fallen in love with Emerson. I knew it was a school for me. However, when it came time to graduate, my grades were bad, I had no money, and my parents were still out of my life. I applied to Emerson undergrad for 3 semesters. Each time, Emerson mailed me a letter of their decision. Each letter was hope and a dream to bring me to a new life, and each letter began with, "We have reviewed your application, and unfortunately, it was not my time for Emerson." I decided to pursue an associate's degree in marketing at Nashua Community College. My father had moved to Hudson, New Hampshire long before I had to leave my childhood home, and it gave me the opportunity to see him again. My father was living with my youngest brother, and my mother had moved up a few months before me. We were all crammed together in his 1-bedroom apartment. It took me 3.5 years to finish that associate's degree, and I worked a full-time job while pursuing performance and dance. In 2013, I moved back to my hometown of Connecticut, and 2 years later, I enrolled at Southern Connecticut State University. That was to complete my undergraduate degree in marketing and event management. It took another 3.5 years to complete that degree while working a full-time job and creating my own performance productions. In the fall of 2017, I graduated from SCSU with a bachelor's degree. A few months later, I quit my job and moved to Boston. I spent the next year at 7 different companies, quitting, being fired, or too tired to get up to go to work. I'm sorry. In 2019, Emerson's Career Development Center hired me as their intern coordinator. They saw my creative experiences and passion for art and decided I am the best to serve this role, serving our Emerson students. And that spring, I decided to apply to Emerson one last time. It was my 4th and final try, and in early 2020, I received another letter from Emerson. Holding that envelope in my hand felt like my senior year of high school all over again. I was scared and lost and ready to admit defeat. I took a few deep breaths and closed my eyes and tore it open, and what I had read was only what I had dreamt of. Congratulations on behalf of the Faculty Admission Committee. I am delighted to inform you that you have been admitted to the Master of Arts in Media Design program for fall 2020. Thank you. My dream took me 10 years to grab, and here I stand graduating alongside you. We all have a story, and our pathway through life is not linear, but it's filled with bumps and sharp turns, confusing signs and dead ends. Let us keep in mind those who are struggling to find their way. Let us keep in mind those who may not have as many opportunities laid out in front of them. For those who make mistakes, for those who got lost, or for those who may not understand what they need, let us remind them that nobody can take away that dream. With some hope, determination, perseverance, and a little bit of love, that dream can become real. Thank you.
And now, for the moments you've all been waiting for. Will all the master's degree candidates please rise? Provost Robert Breslin, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Communication at Emerson College, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Science, who have successfully completed all requirements.
Thank you, Dean Rice. Graduates, please come forward to receive your hood.
Provost Robert Breslin, may I present the Masters of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication in Media Design. Yali Fu. Andrew Ian Geneva. Philip Jones. Provost Robert Breslin, may I present the Masters of Science degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders in Communication Disorders. Anna Elena Arendt. Megan Olivia Baer. Aurora Pelaquin Barrejo. Ariana Elizabeth Barletta. Molly Rachel Betterton. Charlotte Blatt. Christine Alexis Camisa. Caitlin Caron. Amanda Elizabeth Carvalho da Silva. Julia Cohen. Olivia Catherine Collins. Kathleen Marie Conley. Isabella Grace Cuzarin. Brittany Taylor Friedman. Laura Elizabeth Green. Lucy Blanton Hemingway. Catherine Leah Horn. Sarah Haley LaFontaine. Macy Wallace Letsky. Elisa Nicole Madden. Rebecca Fanny Madding. Lucera Montez de Oca Lopez. Brigitte S. Moraes. Anna Victoria Mucciarone. Juliana Teresa Nachtman. Lauren Elizabeth Powell. Olivia Kathleen Poynton. Isaac Risdall. Danielle Rubin. Adriana Isabel Santana. Shawnee Sasson. Emily Renee Siana. Maeve Linehan Shine. Megan Christine Snyder. Natalie Grace Statler. Sienna Son Tancredi. Allison R. Taylor. Cassandra C. Tenney. Madeline Mary Van Saders. Provost Roberts Breslin, may I present the Masters of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Communication Studies in Political Communication. Caitlin Lauren Bereder. Provost Robert Breslin, may I present the Master of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Communication Studies in Public Relations. Nanar Abedessian. Abubakar Diakite. Alexander John Denst. Tala Emir Dogan. Yulia Efthimio. Gregory Rowlett Flanagan. Camille Jordan Mumford. Shifra Beth Ann Power. Jalen Sierra Ramos. Marcus Brandt Russell.
Let's go, Brown, let's go.
Rafael Trujillo. Zhan Wu. Wenji Zheng. Provost Roberts Breslin, may I present the Master of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Communication Studies in Sports Communication. Andrew Thomas Geiger. Jenna Ann Case. Bridget Marine von Leer Secchi. Setch. Cheat sheet. Thanks.
Provost Roberts Breslin, may I present the Master of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Journalism, Brian Charlie Ambler. Marcus Kokova. Wenjing Jiang. Elena Ray Eberwine. Malaya Sydney Hayes. Kakcheng Ji. Oksana Kotkina. John Conklin Kraft. Deandra Page Moorhead. Corey Ritchie. Brianna Rachel Silva. Daniel Tristan Silva. Leela Barringer Smith. Luke Smith. Keshav Vinod. Leon Zana. Wait for the applause. Yeah. Provost Roberts Breslin, may I present the Master of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Marketing Communication in Digital Marketing and Data Analytics. Carrie Joy Adams. Kayla Chloe Augustin. Tracy Ann Badcock. Alicia Samantha Bryan. Megan Emma Candito. Channing Elizabeth Capacchione. Jared Early. Christopher John Falcione. Rebecca S. Greenspan. Ryan E. Greer. Leah Marie Harris. Megan Jean Carl. Molly Rose Kenny. Elizabeth Lerner. Haley Marie McManus. Jenna McVery. Jessica Ing. Monica Claire Pasquale. Olivia Helen Post. Lauren Jean Rayfeld. Mary Elaine Scanlon. Elizabeth Shine. Michelle Sylvia. Ainsley Gabriella Staller. Olivia Erin Ulyaki. Jenalee Day Ellsworth Umali. Provost Roberts Breslin, may I present the Master of Arts degree recipients from the School of Communication, Department of Marketing Communication, in Strategic Marketing Communication. Natasha Shishkumar Amin. Osama Mohammed Bahassan. Jesse Lee Delory. Hannah Lynn Fredlake. Maria Gonzalez. Emmy Goodman. Ava Jean Gordley Smith. Linlin Liu. Gabriela Muti. Alejandra Naranjo. Tara Sawyer. Rebecca Schmeling.
Alexandra Lily Vogel.
Sheen Yang.
Graduates, as you prepare to go forth into this world, carrying your creativity, your deep compassion, and persevering spirit into new communities and new adventures, I leave you with these words of blessing from Adrienne Marie Brown. You are a miracle walking, and you are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your life is sacred. You are here, and for that, I am grateful. Just as you have blessed our community during your Emerson journey, so too do we wish our unending blessings upon each of you. May wisdom, strength, and courage accompany you each day that follows, and may you know that you have left this community a stronger, better place because you were in it. Go in peace and go in strength.
Thank you all for joining us today to mark this momentous occasion. Congratulations again to the Emerson College School of Communication, class of 2022. This marks the conclusion of our ceremony. Please allow our graduates to exit first. Good night.